Good evening, everybody. It's indeed my great privilege and great honor to welcome Krishna Kumari Didi for this Monday motivation program organized by Sancheti Hospital, Ortho TV, and Maharashtra Orthopedic Association. It's my kind privilege to introduce to you Krishna Kumari Didi. Our association with Didi goes for more than 40 years. My father has been visiting the mission since last 40 years, and I have been going there for the last 20 years. Krishna Kumari Didi has been associated with the mission, I would say, for more than 55 years. I don't want to reveal her age, but you can understand that how long she has been associated with Dada. All of us have known Dada, and Dada, in his journey on earth for 100 years, touched millions of lives. And in the last 30 years, I would say Didi has been behind him and has been really helping him with all his activities. As I just said, Krishna Kumari Didi came in contact with Dada about 55 years ago. Growing up in the holy environment of the mission, she studied at the St. Mira's School and later passed her graduation in commerce from St. Mira's College. During a free time at that time, she used to visit Dada, got influenced by him, and later on dedicated her complete life to the mission and to Dada. She could have easily pursued a lucrative career, but she dedicated her life to her master and served him with complete zeal, with complete enthusiasm, and complete samarpan. No task is too small, no project is too big for her. Her devotion to the mission and its activities are unquestionable. Her fortitude and faith is like a rock amidst the waves of challenges, which she handles deftly. She's been appointed as the working chairperson even when Dada was there. She oversees the vast administrative work of Sadhu Vaswani mission, which is a huge Herculean task and ranges from education to medical institutions and 60 organizations across the globe through mission. She is a tireless and a dynamic leader, and she inspires all with her actions. Shy with words, her actions speak louder than her words. And she's an extraordinary leader of men and women, and she can comfortably talk finance with an industrialist as she's talking to a doctor regarding medical care or exchanging notes with singers on bhajan tunes. She's also the coordinator for all mission programs that usually host top leaders in India and abroad. Friends, it's really my great privilege to introduce her to you today. Her powers of the pen has moved many devotee hearts. A compiler of Reverend Dada's talks, songs, and teachings, and editor of East West magazine series. She's also an author for Reverend Dada J.P. Vaswani's book, His Life and Teachings, and Dada J.P. Vaswani's historic visit to Sindh are some of her major books. Her latest biography on Dada, A Message of Love, published by Pan Macmillan, includes a close-up look at the poignant life of Dada's last days. She has been very dedicatedly working with Dada, and ever since Dada left this earth, even though he is not here with us physically, he is with us through Didi. We can hear his voice through Didi. And as I have known Didi, as I said, for more than 20 years, I have seen a huge transformation in her in the last 1 year and more so in the last 6 months. And whenever I meet her, as if I feel that I'm meeting Dada. And today, Didi, thank you very much for having agreed to talk to us and be with us. And thank you, Nareshji, for facilitating all of this. With these few words of introduction, may I request our president of Maharashtra Orthopedic Association to please say a few words on this occasion. Over to Dr. Ajit Shinde, President of Maharashtra Orthopedic Association.
Thank you, Parag. Good evening, dear friends. I wish everyone safe and healthy life in this period of crisis. This unprecedented pandemic has shaken our world and has shown how powerful nature can be. COVID-19 has affected not only our daily life, but has questioned our existence. But friends, we need to stay stronger inside out to fight this disease. We need to focus on well-being rather than getting the disease. We need to protect our mind before protecting our body. It is tough and challenging situation what we are facing right now, and hence we need someone to tell us how to shield our life, our family from this negativity. I welcome Didi Krishna Kumari ji to guide us in this regard. Thank you. Thank you. Over to Parag.
Thank you very much, Shinde sir. We are really privileged to have you also in the panel today. I want to welcome Dr. Tushar Agarwal, a pediatric orthopedic surgeon from Mumbai, who usually, leads all these Monday motivational program. So welcome, Dr. Tushar. We are happy to have you on board. May I now request our dynamic orthopedic surgeon, a very elegant spine specialist, a very eloquent speaker, Dr. Ram Chadda, to please say a few words and lay the platform for Didi.
Didi, we are indeed most privileged to be in your esteemed presence, and we are sharing today a very VUCA world, as people call it. It's a volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous situation. And we as professionals, as human beings, as doctors, as so-called frontline warriors, or even as children, fathers, family members, are not very sure as to where we are today. We wish you to help us decide, have we to change the landscape, which is full of fear and anxiety today, or have we to change the lens or the focus of the glasses through which we are having a look? Or is it that we have to change the eyes with which we are looking at the landscape through that lens, which may not be too clean? Or is it that we really have to go further within and change the perception or the mindset, and hence change our vision? I'm not too sure whether we begin from the outside and come within, or whether we need to begin from within and look out. I seek your advice, your suggestions on the way forward as a seeker, as somebody who is as confused as maybe Arjun was, and what came later was the Bhagavad Gita. So we seek you to show us the way and the light forward. Please, Didi.
Thank you, Dr. Ram. Really all those questions are in everybody's mind, what you have just told us. And I'm sure Didi will answer all of them, and we will, at the end of this webinar, be very motivated. So Didi, I want to start by asking a few questions, and then later on, we can, depending on time, we'll see how it goes and ask more questions. So Didi, my first question to you is, in this pandemic where, a lot of uncertainties are there, a lot of unknown effects are there, I want to ask you, what are the unknown effects this pandemic is having on the human mind? It's all about the mind, they say. So how is this pandemic affecting the human mind, Didi?
Dr. Parag, firstly, a word of gratitude to the entire panel for having invited this ignoramus person to be part of such an esteemed panel. In fact, I have come here to learn from each and every one of you. So please feel free to pass on your suggestions and to enlighten me. A word of gratitude to each and every doctor, to each and every nurse, to each and every paramedical staff who relentlessly and tirelessly are serving in the spirit of service and sacrifice. While we remain safe and secure indoors, each and every one of you is treating patients without care and concern about your own life and your kin. It is really, really remarkable. Words fail us to express our gratitude to the medical fraternity. And as you rightly said, to fight a war, a soldier needs a powerful, a strong ammunition. Without a strong protection, without a strong defense, the soldier will not be able to succeed. Isn't it?
Yes, yes, absolutely, Didi. Absolutely, Didi.
So it is very important that you, as doctors, should have a strong armor. It is very, very, very important. Spouses of some doctors have spoken to me and they have said to me that we realize the role and the duties of a doctor, but how do we ensure the protection and the security and the safety of the doctors and their families? It's a very, very relevant question. And as I was thinking about it today, I said the best armor. In fact, I thought of two anchors which every doctor could hold on to. And the first anchor, the first armor is God. Let us connect to God. He is the best protection. To connect to Him, we do not need a Wi Fi connection. We do not need a cell phone. We do not need a Bluetooth device. He is closer to us than our very breath. We just have to call out to Him. We just have to turn to Him. He is available to us 24 by 7. Let us shoot out tiny little prayers to Him. God, you are there. You are taking care as often as we can throughout the day. Let us try to establish a link of love with Him. We can look up to Him as our father, as our mother, as our friend. In any way that He draws you, turn to Him, call out to Him. I'm reminded of a story which our beloved Dada narrated to us. A father and a son, they set out on a walk. And as they are walking on the road, they see a huge stone. And the son, he says, Father, can I move the stone? It may be a hindrance to others who are trying to walk on the same pathway as us. The father was very inspired and very happy at the son's suggestion. He said, Of course, you must do it. And the son, he started on his task which he had given to himself, and he tries a lot. He makes all effort to try to move the stone, but unfortunately the stone was bigger, was stronger than his strength. And finally he looks up to his father and he says, Papa, I have tried my best, but I cannot move the stone. What does the father say to him? The father says to him, Where have you tried your best? I was standing right in front of you, but you never asked me to help you. If you would have asked me for help, my strength would have been your strength. And in the added strength of both of us, we would have easily been able to move the stone. God too is within us, He is around us, He is with us. We just need to call out to Him. We just need to turn to Him, and His strength will be our strength. And there will be no difficulty which we cannot handle, no problem which we will not be able to solve. And the second armor I thought of was that we must develop the habit of thinking good thoughts, right thoughts, positive thoughts. Once again, beloved Dada often said to us that thoughts are the building blocks of life. With the thoughts, we build the edifice of our life. The thoughts that we think, repeated thoughts lead to repeated actions, and repeated actions make our habits, and it is habit that frame our character, and it is character that helps us to face the crisis in the right way. So we have to be very careful of the thoughts that we think. I know all of you, the first thing you'll advise to everyone during this pandemic is sanitize your hands, disinfect your homes, disinfect your environment. But I would request you to kindly add sanitize your thoughts and disinfect your minds. Whenever a negative thought comes to you, substitute it by a positive one, and you will be amazed at what you cannot achieve. So with the power of God's presence and with the power of good thoughts, positive thoughts, with these two armors, you can go ahead and face any situation in life. And the question which you put to me, Dr. Parag, I would just like to say, in fact, I have come here to learn from you. But whatever I would share is that the wisdom, the inspiration, the vision of my revered Gurudev, revered Dada J.P. Vaswani. If there are any mistakes I make, they are definitely mine. The question which you raised, sir, can you kindly repeat the question?
Yes, Didi. But first of all, the story which you told about the son, he should have just quickly asked us, his father, for help. Very, very apt story. God is within us, but we never ask him for help. I think that is something which will stay in us. So, Didi, coming to the first question, so what are the unknown effects this pandemic is having on the human minds? That is what I wanted to ask you.
As I said to you, I have been listening to various conversations of friends who keep on speaking to me from all around the globe. It is very clear that today, everyone, almost, no, I should not say everyone, almost most of us are facing fear, worry, panic, insecurity, loneliness, and now it is also leading to depression. All these will not take away the problem, but they will definitely take away our peace of mind. And peace of mind is our richest treasure. It is this sense of fear and insecurity that has really, really attacked the roots of our freedom. Just a little while ago, we were free to do what we like, to move out of our houses at our will. Today, even if we choose to move out, we have to wear a mask. Therefore, fear and insecurity has crept into most of us. Today, many of us have started to realize the value of this possession, the greatest possession which we call life. Otherwise, many of us even did not value life, material wealth, and earthly possessions. We were busy chasing them, but today they all seem so meaningless. Even superpowers have chosen to shut their economies to save lives. During this pandemic, just before this pandemic, many of us, when we would meet each other, we would say, we have no time. We would say, if only we had the time to pause and to reflect. What does life mean to us? Why are we here? What is the purpose of our life? We never had the time for these questions. Probably this pandemic has come to give us time to find out answers to these most important questions. And once again, beloved Dada said to us that the mind can be your greatest friend, but it can also be your worst enemy. Let us harness the power of the mind to convert this crisis into an opportunity.
Yes, absolutely, Didi. So well said. So well said. I just want to, as a follow-up to this question, are there any ways that we know that our mind is getting affected, this pandemic is affecting us? Can we do some self-introspection and know some signs and symptoms? Like we see a patient, we take his history, we see him, and we know that he's having this problem. So, are there any ways for us to know that this is affecting us, affecting our mind?
This pandemic, we all know, is affecting all of us. In maybe to some it is affecting us in a very slight way. To some, I don't think anybody is unaffected or indifferent. To some, the effect may be positive. To some, it may be neutral, and to some, it may be negative, which causes fear and all other ailments of the mind. I will just tell you a small story to illustrate this point. There was a small child, and this child, prior to this pandemic, like all children, since you all are parents, you all will fall into the same category. This child was sent after the school hours to various activities. He had to go for his tuitions, he had to go for his music classes, he had to go for his tennis classes. So now that he's indoors, he's confined to the four walls of his home. When he's sitting around with his parents, he tells his parents that when I didn't want to leave my house, you forced me to go from one activity to the other. And now when I want to leave the house, you all are not allowing me to leave the house. What is the reason? So the father, knowing that he was a child, he tells him, my son, the world is under renovation. Wow, exclaims the child. The world is under renovation. So when it reopens, will we see a new world, a better world, a fuller world, a happier world? So it depends upon us. How do we react to this pandemic? How do we spend our time during this pandemic? How that will determine what the new world will be for each and every one of us.
Didi, and that story was really nice that the world is undergoing renovation. I just hope it comes out good and the renovation is for the better and the world is for the better. Time will tell us, but you already know. Didi, just talking that many people call this pandemic, the COVID pandemic actually is a fear pandemic. People are really scared. The effects of the COVID virus are nullified or are actually, underplayed by the fear virus. So can you tell us that, how do we really overcome this fear pandemic or the fear because of the COVID virus or the COVID pandemic?
There is a quotation of our revered master, beloved Dada. He would tell us, when fear or panic knocks at the door of your heart, send faith to open it. For where there is faith, there is no room for fear. Today, we are bombarded by negative tendencies and toxic information. I know people, they are following COVID as if it was a cricket match. They are just listening to the score night and day. Faith is absence of hope. When hope fails us, then fear comes in. Therefore, it is very necessary that we should develop this triple faith. Faith in God, yes, it is very, very important, but faith in ourselves. We must have faith in ourselves that yes, we all will definitely get out of this situation. We will emerge victorious with God's help. And thirdly, faith in the universe that is essentially just and fair. For whatever happens, happens only for our ultimate good. I will again narrate to you a small story from the life of our beloved Dada. He was a child, and he started to learn swimming. So, in their first class, when the group gathered together, the Cub master gave them a series of instructions, and then he pushed everyone into the water. But as soon as water touched Dada's body, all the instructions were washed away. Fear literally gripped him. He started thrashing the water up and down. And the more he tried to re emerge from the water, the more difficult he found to re emerge, to surface on the water. Seeing his plight, the cub master looked at him, and the cub master said to him, "My child, let go and let the waters carry you." The moment Dada heard this, he immediately gave himself up to the waters, and the waters buoyed him up, and he began to float.
Mhm.
What a beautiful experience. And since that day, Dada made this the mantra of his life: let go, let go, let God. Yes, when panic strikes us, let us surrender. When fear strikes us, let us surrender the reins of our hands in the safe hands of God, and we will be free from all harm.
Absolutely, Didi. So such a nice story, and a lot of learning in the answer you gave. Didi, what we have seen is there are various types of effects this COVID virus has had. There are fear, anxiety, there are depressions, there are many other things. But one of the things which is quite significantly impacting us is the economic crisis, which is happening because of this. Businesses are shutting down, hotels are not working, malls are not there, hospitals also, some of them have closed down, some of them are at only 20% occupancy, and all this has led to a huge economic crisis. I don't want to ask you a business plan or a business strategy, how to run a hospital, how to make it full, but what I want to ask you, Didi, is that in these times of economic crisis, it always bothers us. So how can we deal with this economic crisis which has been caused because of this pandemic?
This is really a difficult question. Um, but in striving to save lives, in the process, many have lost their livelihoods. And therefore, this problem is really a difficult one. And I'm sure economic experts will guide us in the right way. But what we have been taught, that crisis helps us all to unfold the latent potential that is within each and every one of us. If only we turn within and go within, we'll find answers to so many questions. And beloved Dada reminds us that we must not forget that this is an opportunity for us to extend our hand of help and healing to all who suffer and are in pain. All of us are affected by it, but some more and some less. There are some who are unable to even get one simple meal a day. We have come across so many such families, and in a humble way, we are endeavoring to try to reach out to them. Let us all together try to, we should come together and try to lift up humanity, because the entire world is in this situation. We all should join hands and bring each other, lift each other up.
Right, right. Didi, before I go to the next question, I want to welcome our dynamic secretary of the Maharashtra Orthopedic Association, Dr. Narayan Karne. He was busy with a IMA meeting, therefore he joined late. But welcome, Karne sir. Such a pleasure to see you. And he also, Didi, is very spiritually oriented. He himself conducts talks and does a lot of spirituality himself. So welcome, Karne sir.
Thank you. Can I have a comment on the fear as well as economic crisis?
Yes, yes, sir.
Fear comes in the mind because of certain reasons. One is what will happen to me myself, whether I will get the COVID or not, or it will come in my family. That is one thing. And second thing is what will be my economic condition, especially now the doctors are listening to all these things. So those who are especially in the nursing homes will be in a serious trouble, because we don't know when this is going to end. This is not going to end at all. It will come down, but it may take 5 months, it may take 8, 9 months. And that's why they are scared. So fear is one thing. So in this fear, Once the fear goes in the body, rather it goes deeper, then the ability to fight the situation goes down. You know, that is there for a century, this is going on. Especially the famous film Tanaji, where when the Tanaji fell down, those soldiers, they feel that they are lost and they started running. At the same time, when there was no other way, they fought back and they won the situation. So similarly here, the fear is going to be there. If you start imagining, it is going to be there. So what everybody should do now, because they have got plenty of time, they should try to upgrade themselves. So this message is upgrade themselves, upgrade them physically first thing. Physically, every month they should be at least 10% fitter. Mentally, they should become sharp. Emotionally, they should keep themselves balanced. That is a practice. And third, the last thing is the energy. Energetically, they should become effervescent. Now, how all this can be managed? This can be managed by two things. One is mental fitness and second is body fitness.
Right.
So body fitness, everybody tells how to do the body fitness. And for the mental fitness, it is a meditation with the asanas. So this meditation and positive attitude and faith in anybody. Faith in, it can be any person, it can be any religion, or it can be the person like me. We have faith in the almighty power, not a person or something. There is almighty power. So have faith in them that they are behind me. But only thing, they will be with me unless only when I surrender myself to them.
Right.
Okay, I do the things which is required. In Marathi, they say, "Asil माझा हरी तर देईल खटल्यावरी." You know, if the God is there and I believe him, and then he'll give me everything, it's not going to be so. God is there, our Guru is there, who is behind us to help in all the things which we are actively doing. So we should do something. This is an opportunity to polish yourself. Up till now, what you are doing is you are doing your regular work. But this unprecedented situation, which may not come in many decades ahead and which had not come in even last century. So this is the one which is giving the opportunity to upgrade yourself, to polish yourselves, to make use of every minute to improve yourself to face this crisis. And then what may come, because everybody is going to affect by this. It's not that it has come only to you yourself alone. It has come to everybody from the top to bottom, from the richest to the poorest. Everybody is going to suffer out of this. So it is not you alone. So there is no need to get scared of that. Everybody is going to get suffered. But survival of the fittest, the one who keeps himself fit mentally, physically, emotionally, then everything comes back. You know, opportunities, they come. Like the Virgin Atlantic, the person was saying, he was saying the opportunity knocks your door, you know, every 3 minutes. So you don't worry, emotional, economically, nothing going to happen as long as you are strong and keep and remain yourself strong should be the message of this COVID crisis.
Yes.
That's
Thank you, Karne sir. Very well said.
Thank you so much. Can I just add one thing? So you really enlightened us. And I would just like to add that beloved Dada would always tell us that usually we regard ourselves as this physical body. But essentially, we are not only the body, not only the mind, but we are also the soul. Of course, good immunity is the key to fight over this disease. We need to be physically strong. But with that, we need to be emotionally balanced and we need to nourish our souls. Whenever anyone came to Dada and they would ask him, which doctor do you consult? And what would Dada reply? I consult 5 doctors. The first is Dr. Diet. Take care of the diet you eat because it affects not only your body, but it affects your mind. In fact, I wanted to elaborate more on it, but maybe on some other occasion. Second, Dr. Laughter. Always have a sense of humor. It is humor that will hold you in good stead. It will help you to overcome fear and to ride over any difficult situation. Third, Dr. Sunshine, which includes Dr. Nature. Spend time in the sun, spend time with nature. Fourth, Dr. Exercise, which includes yoga. And last and the most important, Dr. Quiet. Dada would say spend 20 minutes of silence every morning when you wake up and 20 minutes of silence before you sleep in the night. It is only then that you will be fit in body, mind, and soul.
Absolutely. So, you know, the time has come now that we doctors are going to go out and these 5 doctors are going to become more popular. So Didi, you're putting us out of business.
No, not at all.
The doctor of doctors.
So
I will
very,
be the
very
doctor of
well
doctors.
said, Didi. Very well said. So Didi, moving on with the next question, and as Dr. Karni also alluded, it is important to have positivity. It is important to give confidence, and because of this crisis in organizations, there is a lot lack of motivity. There is lack of confidence. So how will you ensure that you can really give confidence to your staff, to your colleagues, to your family, or how can we spread positivity and motivational thoughts in the organization, especially amongst the staff, amongst doctors, amongst nurses, amongst ward boys, in a medical setup? How would you advise to spread positivity and confidence?
In times of difficulty and in times of crisis, usually two types of people emerge. The first are who control the mind, and the second are who are controlled by the mind. I think we all should try to belong to the first category, those who control the mind. Let us try to set up an environment which is light, which is cheerful, so that people who work with us, they don't feel that they are resources to be used, but we make them feel that they are our strengths. And Dada always said to us that you must not forget to imbibe the attitude of gratitude. Go out of your way to appreciate people, go out of your way to encourage people. Whatever we can do to boost up their morale, let us do it, for now is the time. And let us have faith in God, faith in ourselves, and faith in the universe that is around us. If we practice these three things, I'm sure we will be able to have an environment of positivity around us, and we will spread it wherever we go.
Excellent, Didi. So, Didi, again, you spoke about Dr. Diet and you spoke about physical health. So, can you guide us a little bit on, how to keep a good physical health, how to, have a good diet, or how to maintain, as you said, it's all about what you eat. So, how do we keep fit physically during this pandemic? Can you give us some ideas on that?
About diet, Dada would tell us that we should all try to eat a Sattvic diet. A Sattvic diet is a diet which is preferably, now, in any case, it's difficult for us to consume food prepared outside, because whatever vibrations we put in the food, those vibrations, they affect us. The vibrations that go in preparation of food, the vibrations they go when we are eating. Therefore, it is always recommended that when we prepare our food, we should not be angry, we should not be in a hurry, we should not be irritated. And even when we are eating the food, we should not be checking our messages, we should be calm, we should be relaxed. So these are the basic rules which should be followed. And of course, if possible, we should try to stay away from food of violence. How can uh, food that has fear in it, that has uh, all other emotions in it, how can that food give us strength? How can that food give us energy? In fact, it will deplete us of our energy. So if we try to stay away from a food of violence, and if we go into a plant-based diet, and especially now we have less of activity, we are all confined to our homes. Of course, we all try to do a little exercise. So restrain on food, good timings of sleep. This is the time when we can try to follow a proper, at least a reasonable schedule. Otherwise, we are bogged down by our diaries of appointments. So we should try to get back to nature, closer to our own selves as much as we can, and read some good literature. Otherwise, we are all the time on our mobiles. We have no time. We are on Netflix. We have forgotten the art of reading. If we can cultivate the art of reading again, it will really benefit us.
Right, Didi. So I think Sattvic diet, as you have said, is very important in these times, and Even most of us, including me, I would say, is when we are eating, we are checking mobiles, we are, doing multitasking. But I think it's important to spend those 10 minutes just doing nothing and concentrating on your food. But one thing I didn't know, that while preparing the food also, if you're going to be angry, agitated, the food doesn't taste well. I must tell my wife that today.
That's why Dada used to say that the food prepared by mothers is always most nourishing because they put vibrations of love into it.
Right, right.
Dada would tell us whenever the children are sick, the mothers will put healing vibrations into it. That is what affects the child. That is what affects the members of the family.
Absolutely, Didi. Absolutely. Didi, going to the next question, because of this COVID situation, it is indeed a spiritual challenge to us. This spiritual challenge, is there any way to convert it into a spiritual opportunity? Many times my father always says that convert liability into asset. So, taking this simile, how can we convert this physical of this spiritual challenge which has come to us because of COVID into a spiritual opportunity? Can you give us a prescription for that?
Why is it a challenge? Because we were so preoccupied, we were so busy with our hectic lives that we did not have time to pause and to confront our own selves. We did not have time to talk to ourselves, to understand ourselves, to know who we truly are, what exactly we are seeking. Many a times we do a particular thing but we don't know why we are doing it. So that was the challenge that we were facing, isn't it? And
Right.
now is the opportunity because we have the time. So let us convert this challenge into an opportunity and utilize the time in getting answers to these most important questions. Let us establish a link with ourselves. Dada used to tell us that we are so afraid of silence that many of us, when we enter into our homes and we know that nobody is there, whether we are listening to the TV or no, we would just put it on because we just didn't want to confront silence. So now is the time when we should try to spend time in silence. Just imagine now, because there is no traffic, there is no pollution, all of us must be experiencing in our balconies. We hear the sweet song of birds. We can even hear the whisper of the winds. Let us try to enjoy all these wonderful gifts that God created for us, and we will see that every challenge turns into an opportunity.
Excellent, excellent.
Can I come
Uh,
into one?
yes, Dr. Karni, you want to make a quick comment?
It is about the spiritual challenge, what you just said now. So it is a human tendency. Human goes to the God only when he's in trouble. When everything going well, there are the chances of not that much keen to go to the God. So this is a situation of the crisis. Whenever you are in the crisis,
Right.
you tend to go to the God. So the practices of the meditation, when it is combined with the God, it is called a spirituality. So the practice of the meditation will be done in a very well manner, and the effect will be far more in this situation if we start practicing meditation now. So the spiritual, this challenge, which is a challenge of the crisis, in this we are more amenable to follow the practices as well as to follow all those things, and we get the good results also in this. So it should be, this is the right time to start the meditation and follow all those things.
Absolutely, absolutely, Dr. Karni. Didi, I know we are actually running out of time, but may I request you to extend, because I didn't realize, I just saw the time. Can you extend a?
Once, sir, we must not skip the meditation
No, no,
because
no, we'll not skip it, but can we extend beyond 6 a little bit?
I'm sure many of you, after listening to it today, will love to do it at least once
No, no,
every.
we'll do the meditation, but
I don't mind sitting as much time, but we should not skip the
no, no,
meditation.
no, no, that we will not, 100%. So I just want to go to the last 4 questions, which actually have come in from Dr. Ram Chadda from Mumbai. So, he always talks about VUCA world today: volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. So may I hand over for the last 4 questions to Dr. Ram Chadda, and then, we will have a few questions from the panelists. And of course, there is a 20-minute meditation, 18 minutes. We will definitely do it, Didi, but if you can give us a little more of your time, because it's going so well, and we are getting so much out of it. So over to Dr. Ram for the further questions. If anybody has any comments like Dr. Karne, Didi, it's okay to kind of say, talk in between a little bit.
Definitely. It's such a joy and a teaching for me. Dada would say that the day on which we have not learned something is a lost day. And I'm so happy to be amidst you all. It's really a learning for me.
No, no, thank you, Didi, for being so humble. Over to Dr. Ram.
And I've come here to learn of you.
Didi, taking from the word learning that you've said, do you feel that we need to right now learn to unlearn what we know and relearn a lot of things? Is it that we who are used to living in a sort of a comfort zone have to now rethink and move out of our comfort zones? And we have to sort of break the path if we have to find the right path. These are things which sort of work on my mind. Today, we've reached a situation where the options we are getting are very different from what were available earlier. And we have to make the choices. Could you help us make these choices a little better? We are, as we look at ourselves, as most of us orthopedic surgeons are, we are one-roll wonders. We don't know much beyond the little that we know. How do we look at these options which we've never had? What choices do we take? We are basically the workers. We are the karma yogis. We are not the dharma yogis. How do we move forward?
I would just say that beloved Dada would often tell us that life is a school and experience is our teacher. So every experience that comes to us is a teacher, and until we learn the lesson that the experience wants to teach us, that experience keeps on recurring. So we have to learn the lesson and then move on to the next. So there will be at every step we have a choice to make. We call it in Dada would call it Shreya and Prayer. There is the pleasant path and there is the unpleasant path. Of course, the pleasant path is very easy, very slippery. Many of us choose that, but there is the other path, which is an uphill path. But if we tread that path, we will definitely reach the pinnacle of success.
Thank you so much. As you rightly said, and we've sort of quoted something which is related to our profession. When we talk of good results, we always believe that good results come from experience, but experience only comes from bad results. So we have to go through this learning, and we are still learning each day. Didi, we always in a situation of fear. Either we freeze, or we flight, or we fight back. These are the three sort of ways that we look at a situation of fear and anxiety. From what I've gathered from you, I'm not too sure whether today I have to practice doership, which is react, respond, or do I need to practice a non-doership? Should I get going and allow my ego to lead me forward to fight the virus and fight the situation? Or should I, as you suggested, let go and let God lead the path? To me, which is pleasant, which is unpleasant? What do I choose?
Two words, आला अंगावर तर घेतलं शिंगावर. That is a proverb in Marathi. You know meaning of that?
No, sir.
Ram should I ask?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes, Didi. Just quickly rephrase the last part of your question, Ram.
Okay, I was just, doctor, I will just make a humble suggestion. You have to do your duty. You have to put in the best effort of which you are capable. That is why we have been given this human birth. That is why we have been given such a receptive mind. We have to do the best of which we are capable, but we must do it in a spirit of offering. Whatever we do, we must offer it to the Lord. Then the onus is on Him, it is not on us. We will try our best, we will put in our best efforts, and then tell God to do the rest.
So we should be passionate about our work, but we should be dispassionate about the
The
result and
result.
recognition. Is that the way to go?
Yes.
So we let
We will
the
be
result.
happy. If we don't follow that, then if we are successful, we are happy. If we meet failures, we are unhappy. And then we are in a seesaw. So if we put in our best and leave the rest, leave the results to God, then we will be able to march onward, forward, upward, inward.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Did you mentioned about the 5 doctors and you stressed on the 5th doctor, which was the doctor of silence and talking to yourself, and most important, spending those 20 minutes at some time. I have always believed that the 3 most important virtues that we have are silence, passion, and patience. And each one actually helps the other to rise. And all of them are actually linked to time, because it's the amount of time which we invest silently, patiently, and passionately, which can help us change the situation. And I strongly believe that anything that is difficult takes a little time, and anything which is impossible takes a little longer. Do you believe that we should be resilient and hold on to our grit and perseverance with enthusiasm and encourage people along with us and move together to overcome this new adversity, this hidden challenge that we've never faced in our lifetime? How do you suggest we look at it? With being within ourselves silently and being strong, or going with no holds barred and fighting it?
To be able to give, you must first have the resource within you. If you're empty within, you will not be able to give. So, first, that's why 20 minutes of silence on waking up, because once you connect to the powerhouse, then your battery is charged. Then go out into the world and with resilience, with patience, with all the virtues that you said, go and spread the energy that you have received. So we need a blend of both.
Absolutely, absolutely.
See,
So,
one
so,
sentence we
uh,
can add into this
so
about
what
this.
we need to understand is, the silence is something important, and you have to have it within. So that's really something nice. Didi, it's about 5 minutes to 6, and we have 1,100 viewers watching this, and the questions are coming through WhatsApp on Dr. Ashok Shams. But I don't think we have time to ask questions. What we can do, Didi, is can we send you those questions with the people who have asked it, and we can directly send them those answers?
Try and send them the answers, but give us a few days.
Yes.
Not expect a reply today, but we'll definitely try and answer all the questions.
But Didi, our panelists have 1 or 2 questions. So we'll take those 2, 3 questions and then move to the meditation. Will that be all right?
Definitely.
So, Dr. Sachin, you had a question, I know. Can we go ahead with your question?
Yes, Didi. I think one of the important questions is how do we embrace ourselves? Because with the progress of disease within the community, it is bound to happen that one of our near and dear ones may not be with us, in the next couple of weeks to come. And I think this is going to be inevitable because we cannot go against nature no matter how careful we are. So what will be your advice to us to embrace ourselves for this loss which may or may not happen, and how should we prepare ourselves?
Of course, this loss is naturally irreplaceable, but we have to understand and explain to ourselves that each one's life is very fragile. This moment will come in the life of each and every one of us, but we have to be prepared for it. We must pray for that person as much as we can, so that if with our collective prayers he gets that strong immunity, he gets that strength to tide over the situation. But if he succumbs to it, we must accept it as God's will and take it positively, try to prepare ourselves, because one day we all have to take this inevitable journey.
That just quickly, gives me one story about Dada, about prayers. I know that when Dada was in the US, he was very critical at one point of time. And then a message had been sent to all of us, including me. And, everybody prayed. And miraculously, Dada came out of that. That is something, the power of prayers, I personally have seen, because of my father. I could have a first-hand information of what's going on there. And after those prayers, Sachin, Dada made a turnaround, and not only on one occasion, on 2-3 occasions that has happened, and that has made me completely to believe that prayers really help. Thank you, Didi, for that. We have time for two more questions, one from Dr. Ajit and then Dr. Tushar. Dr. Shinde, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Didi, can you elaborate role of yoga during this period to develop physical as well as mental power?
Yoga is very, very essential, and it helps us to boost up our immunity system. It boosts up our vitality, our vigor, our energy, and above all, true yoga connects us with God. So not only does it affect our body, it also, if pranayama is performed, it helps us to calm down our mind, to stabilize our mind, to balance our emotions, and above all, it nourishes our soul by connecting us to the Lord. So it helps body, mind, and soul collectively.
Fantastic. Dr. Tushar.
Yeah, Didi, what I wish to ask is that how to get this absolute sense of surrender. We know what is right. We've discussed, we've had so many motivational seminars, we read so much of discussion is happening. But always how to remain close to what is right, and how to be in that absolute sense of surrender is a challenge. You constantly go back to fighting.
Dada would tell us that to learn anything, we have to practice it repeatedly. And I think you, as medical doctors, will bear testimony to that. So, whenever a doubt knocks on your door, immediately substitute that thought with faith. And the more we keep on practicing this, the more we will develop the habit of always responding to a situation rather than reacting to a situation.
Right. Thank you very much, Didi. Thanks.
Absolutely. So any more questions from the panelist? So if there are no questions, Didi, we would like to move on to the meditation. All of us very eager to learn meditation. And as you said, that is the way to connect to God, and that is that silent period, and meditation has a lot of power. So I know 18-20 minutes is a very small period. Dada used to run camps of 3 days, and I was there once in one of the camps at Marriott. And 3 days were also not enough. People wanted more to learn from Dada and from you. But what they say, that there is a small trailer for a movie. So can you give us a small trailer of 18 minutes on how to do meditation, Didi?
Doctor, in fact, it is a surprise for you. The meditation is in Dada's own voice, and it's
fantastic.
a very powerful meditation, and it will specially benefit us in these trying times, and we all will meditate together, because there is a power in group meditation which is much stronger. When we meditate individually, we get more distracted, but once we are in a group, there is the power of collective vibrations, and all those vibrations, they assist us in focusing, in bringing our minds to a particular point. So we all will do it together, and I'm sure we all will benefit by it. Thank
Sure,
you so much.
sure, Didi.
Really a joy and a blessing to be with you all. And if there is anything which I didn't say correctly, I beg to be forgiven. Please treat me as your younger sister and kindly forgive me.
No,
Thank you.
no, no,
Thank you,
Didi,
ma'am. Thank
please, please don't say that, Didi. I still, whatever the humble qualities of Dada, you have more than them. I still remember once I was at the mission, Dada was sitting on a chair and I sat next to him on the floor and he's saying sorry to me. Sorry, doctor, I cannot sit down. You're sitting down, but because of my knee and elbow problem, I can't sit down. I'm so sorry. I said, Dada, I literally had tears in my eyes when he said that. I can see those qualities in you, Didi, such a humble soul and so nice of you. Thank you so much. Let's move on to the meditation and, then we will just quickly propose a vote of thanks after that.
So shall I start the meditation video?
Yes, yes, Dr. Ashok.
As we begin our meditation today, let us remind ourselves of one of the most basic and vital benefits of meditation. In your conscious waking state, it stills the mind, relaxes the body, and produces a state of inner harmony. Sit comfortably, relax every part of your body, clear your mind of anxiety and emotional stress, clear your body of physical tension. Just close your eyes and let your breathing become slow and gentle. As you breathe out, open your mouth and sigh to release the tension in your body. Focus on any part of your body that feels tense. And as you breathe out, feel the area soften and relax. Focus on your breath. Continue to breathe gently and naturally. Put all your expectations, anxieties, and fears aside. As you breathe in, imagine that you are gathering all feelings of tension, anxiety, and fear. And as you breathe out, imagine that you are blowing, scattering all those negative feelings and thoughts away. Breathe in, gather all the negativities within you. Breathe out,
blew them all away. Now, as you breathe in, draw down from your mind thoughts and feelings of calmness, tranquility, peace, acceptance. As you breathe out, spread these positive, wholesome, healing thoughts throughout your body. Breathe in, draw down thoughts of tranquility and peace from your mind. Breathe out, spread those positive thoughts throughout your body. Peace, calm, and tranquility. Positive thoughts, positive feelings. Let them envelop you. Allow yourself to be softened, relaxed, soothed, and comforted by all the positive energy. Now focus on your body. Are you feeling well? Or are you suffering from pain, disease, or illness? Ask yourself what you have done to bring this pain about. If it is a habit or a practice of yours that has brought about this discomfort, it is all to break the bad habit now. Say to yourself in silence, I shall take good care of my body. I shall break all bad habits that cause pain and affliction to my body. Feel the healing energy of the universe flowing into your body. Feel the healing power. Now turn your attention to your mind. Observe your mind as if you are observing a room. Be aware of the chatter of thoughts. Are they happy, unhappy, sad, pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral? Each negative thought, each unpleasant feeling is like an obstacle or an unwanted article that litters the room. Now visualize yourself picking up a broom and sweeping the room clean. Sweep away, clear the clutter until your mind is empty and clean. Focus too on your attitudes and perceptions. The Buddha said to us that the person who suffers the most in this world is the person with wrong attitude. Visualize yourself picking up a sketch pen and a chart paper and making a beautiful poster which says, change your attitude and change your life. Put up this poster on the wall of your mind. Now, make yourself comfortable in the room of your mind. Focus with love and satisfaction on the beautiful poster that you have created and pasted on the wall. Change your attitude and change your life. You have resolved to be healthy, happy, and peaceful. You have taken the first steps towards healing your body and mind. Take these healing powers with you as you return to the workaday world. You will be happy, peaceful, and healthy. Healing begins with you. Now rub the palms of your hands and gently place them on your eyelids and gently, very gently open your eyes. That is the end of this meditation. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much. Didi, can you hear us?
Yes, yes, very clearly, Doctor.
Oh, Didi, this was so enchanting, so nice, so wonderful. Before I propose the final vote of thanks, I would like Dr. Shinde to please propose the vote of thanks. Dr. Shinde, sir. This was such a wonderful meditation. It was such a nice time, Didi. We would like to have more such sessions with you as we go on in the future. And this was just the beginning today. We really enjoyed. We feel so rejuvenated, so motivated, and these effects usually don't last long. But we will again come to you to get re-enthused and rejuvenated time and time again so that these effects last for long. Shinde sir, may I request you to propose a vote of thanks?
Do you hear me? You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, very clearly.
That was very enlightening. Thank you very much, Didi, for showing the path in these difficult times. You have shown the power of mind to achieve the peace of mind. Now I am really sure that a beautiful, renovated world will be waiting for us. We just need to overcome the fear. I appreciate efforts of Dr. Parag and his team towards orthopedic fraternity, and I thank him for inviting me in this beautiful webinar. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This was indeed a very beautiful webinar. I would just like to say the greatness of life is to spend it for something that will outlast it. And that's what Dada did, Didi. Dada in his lifetime did so many things that will always remain and will always become mortal, and he will be remembered for that. Didi, Dada also created you, enriched you, nurtured you, blessed you to carry forward his legacy. And Didi, let me tell you today, Dada is watching us from there. And today he is feeling so happy the way you're carrying forward his legacy, and he's blessing us all the time. Thank you, Didi. We look forward to more such programs in the future. On behalf of all of us here, Dr. Tapaswi, Dr. Karne, Dr. Ashok Sham, Dr. Tushar, Dr. Ram, and our president, we thank you and look forward to many more such sessions. A special thanks to Dr. Ashok Sham and Dr. Naresh for having coordinated this program. Thank you, Didi.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you and bye-bye.
Balash.